Imagine reading the Bible cover to cover in 4 days. It took a team of volunteers to complete the mission this week in front of the U.S. Capitol.
Then the rich man said, "Please, Father Abraham, send him to my father's home."
Organizers of the U.S. Capitol Bible Reading Marathon want Christians to unify around Christ and the Bible.
We're praying for our country. There's great division in our country, great fear in our country, but we love God. All of us who are Christians love God, and we just want to challenge people to have a stronger devotional walk with the Lord by going to church and reading their Bible.
This is the 28th year for the Bible Marathon. It was time to end on this National Day of Prayer. Joining us now is the chairman of the National Day of Prayer, Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma. Welcome to the program.
Always great to be with you.
President Obama didn't host White House events or personally participate in the National Day of Prayer. In contrast, President Trump is hosting Catholic cardinals, other religious leaders at the White House, signing an executive order on religious liberty, and you have been such a big supporter of religious freedom. What difference does it make to have support from the president on this issue?
Makes a tremendous difference. During the Obama White House, there were a lot of questions from any person or any group that was a nonprofit or a business that was faith-based at all, whether they could do business with the government, whether they can engage in educational institutions, whether they were welcome in America. Because quite frankly, there was lip service given over and over again about people of all faiths and of all perspectives. But when you actually got down to actual practice, if you were a person of faith, you were excluded from American life. So the eagerness now is for the White House to be able to step out and make a clear executive order to be able to say that every person, regardless of background, of faith or no faith, is welcome in America, and all opinions are valuable and are honored. Especially in a day like the National Day of Prayer, it's exceptionally important that we get a clear, lengthy executive action to be able to detail all the different aspects and all the agencies that's needed for protection of religious liberty.
You have been very vocal about Christian persecution around the world. I was just in Iraq last month, and what Christians in Iraq need is money to rebuild their towns that were destroyed by ISIS. Will you push for aid from Congress for those Christians?
Yeah, the Obama administration and Secretary Kerry, when he's leading this as Secretary of State, made the designation of genocide. That is a very rare designation for the United States and for the world to be able to look at a particular group of people and say these are victims of genocide. They specifically targeted those in Iraq and in Syria under ISIS rule that were Christians, that were Yazidis, or that were Shias, saying these individuals were being targeted specifically because of their faith for execution and persecution. The problem was they made the genocide designation and then they didn't back it up with any actions. We didn't increase anything on our targeting for refugees, for instance, to be able to move refugees specifically from those communities into the United States or for additional targeted aid. And so we have already asked the Trump administration to be able to look at this genocide designation and to determine what are we going to do as Americans if we know these individuals are being killed specifically because of their faith. As a nation that has a high priority for freedom of the free exercise of religion, what are we going to do about that? And we're continuing to be able to push them on that exact issue.
Thank you so much for joining us, Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma.
Thank you. Always glad to be with you.